And it's always good to talk about someone from the past who also had a sense of the future. My opening reading is from What America Means to Me by Pearl S. Buck. The chapter is from The Dark Shadow. She had been born in Philadelphia, and her family had been here for 3 generations. That is, she was of an old American family. The generation earlier had been in the South. A white ancestor had brought them here. I suspected several white ancestors in this beautiful woman. Her skin was golden brown, and her hair was smooth, and her features fine. Tell me, I said, you are of very mixed blood. She told me frankly then of the story of those generations, except for the mixed blood. It might have been the story of any old and honorable American family whose ancestors had come here early and had lived in dignity and even some luxury. Obviously, this woman had never known want or insecurity. Her husband, too, had a mixture of white blood from Lancaster County in Pennsylvania, where the Pennsylvania Dutch have no race prejudices. Here is his picture, she said. I looked into the face of a handsome and strong man. He wore a uniform. He fought in the last war too, she said proudly, and he didn't feel he was doing his duty until he volunteered again. But I hope he'll get home before he has to go abroad. What a handsome family you are, I exclaimed. They smiled at that, but as if they had heard it before. We had tea and we talked, and I heard of the trip to Europe where the father had gone for advanced study in medicine. Why had he gone to Europe, I asked. The faint shadow passed over the pretty woman's face. It's easier for us over there, she said. Then she added, we doubted whether he would have been allowed to do the same work here. Until then, I had been enjoying myself. I had been thinking, here is a colored American family who feels no disadvantage in their color. Obviously, they are well-to-do, highly educated, and happy. I had never had this experience before. I had not seen colored Americans who did not have a rankling, bitter sense of injustice done them. This family, I thought, with relief, showed that it was possible to live in America, colored and yet like anyone else. Does your husband have white patients as well as colored, I asked. Oh yes, the pretty woman said. He goes wherever he is needed. And you, I asked, do you have white friends? No, she said quietly, I have none. But your daughter, I persisted. She tells me she goes to school with white girls. So did I, the mother said. But after school, I didn't see them anymore. But why, I asked. One doesn't want to go where the welcome is doubtful, she replied. The shadow was very clear now. I determined to pierce it and found out what it meant. Let's talk frankly about this matter of race, I said. Do you have much trouble with it here in Philadelphia? Oh no, she said quickly, not if we choose our places. That is, there are nice places to eat where they will let us come in and we just don't go to the other places. We soon find out where the right places are and we avoid insult. And the theaters, the best ones don't discriminate, she said, and we can hear good music. They let us come to the concerts. They, I asked, the white people, she said gently. But you have your own friends, I asked. Oh yes, she said, her face brightened. I have many very nice friends, and their daughters are my daughter's friends. We have a pleasant little set of our own, and we live within it. We talked on for an hour more, I pressing my questions and she answering with a sort of sweet frankness that I found charming. Now and again, the dark, pretty daughter would add something. Do you feel American? I asked suddenly. They were startled by the question. Oh, yes, 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 the mother said. It was the first touch of real passion. Why, she said, we belong here. She looked at me bewildered. I could see by her question and half frightened by it. We've been here for generations, she said, and my husband's fighting for America. Oh, yes, yes, we are American. But now the shadow was very dark indeed, so dark that I had not the heart to go on trying to pierce it. Besides, I understood it. Remembering the refugees had made me understand. We talked only a few minutes more after that about small things, and I came away. When I shut the door, it was like shutting it on a walled garden, beautiful but enclosed, and the gate was locked behind me. I came away carrying the shadow with me. Think of living in your own country but having to be watchful continually for insult. Think of being sensitive and intelligent, educated and gently bred, and having no pause at the door of a hotel, at a restaurant, at the door of a railway car, at a theater, at a store, everywhere that is, and to ask yourself, will they let me come in here, or will they tell me they don't want us? Thinking myself into those two with whom I had spent the afternoon, I began to share that shadow. What misery to live forever, anticipating the insult, forever dreading the rebuff, and for nothing except the faint gold tinge to the skin. For these two women were the equals of any I had met in any country, and superior to many I knew of my own race. For myself, I was proud that they were Americans. I was bitterly ashamed of the shadow over their lives. A good many days have passed since I spent that afternoon in that quiet house, but the shadow I brought away from it is with me still. I think it will be with me as long as it is here in our country, for race prejudice is not only a shadow over the colored, it is a shadow over all of us. And the shadow is darkest over those who feel it least and allow its evil effects to go on. It is not healthy when a nation lives within a nation, as colored Americans are living inside America. A nation cannot live confident of its tomorrow if its refugees are among its own citizens. That's the beginning. Mm-hmm.